Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Luz, and on this week's video we are going to be doing a little bit of an autumn vlog. It's September. I have yapped to you guys already about how much of an autumn girly I am to my very core, and I was like, okay, this is the perfect time to film an autumnal cozy kind of vlog. There's a few things that I want to do for this specific vlog. I want to go shopping and I want to go look for some candles, some autumnal bits, some bits for my bookshelf to give my bookshelf a little bit of an autumn glow, get some cozy little lights, some bits and pieces like that. I also need to go autumn book shopping, and there's some specific books that I've got my eye on that are peak autumn reads. And whilst we're on the topic of autumn reads and autumn books, I thought I could go through my autumn TBR with you guys. It's quite long, I'm not going to get to all of them, but there are some amazing books on there which I cannot wait to share with you guys, and maybe hopefully inspire your autumn TBRs too. So there's a lot to get to, but that is what is going to be happening on this week's vlog. So without further ado, grab yourselves a drink, let's get cozy, and let me take you guys with me as we go find some autumn essentials. Okay you guys, this is the final fit that we've gone for. I'm literally in every shade of brown you can imagine, and these trousers are kind of like pajama bottoms, but oh my god, I'm in love with them. And then I've got my Adidas Specials on the bottom. We have got some gold jewelry. That's pretty much it. So now I'm gonna hop in the car, I'm gonna head to the shops, and I'm hoping just to feel all cozy and inspired. It's one of those really crisp autumn days where the skies are blue but everything feels a little cold, and I just love it. I'm just so excited. I love autumn. I know I've said it a million times, and I know some of you are like, Luce, it's September, it's still kind of sunny, can we please just embrace the last little days of summer? You totally can. For me, I'm going to be embracing all of the autumnal stuff. That being said, let's get going. We just pulled up, and first things first, we're going to head to TK Maxx and HomeSense. I am on the lookout for candles, anything that's autumnal and atmospheric and all that kind of stuff that's going to make my reading corner look cozy and autumnal and nice. But then I also want to check out TK Maxx's reading options, because I've seen people say that TK Maxx actually are an absolute knockout for books, and I've never tried any of their books or even had a look, so we're going to do that. And then I'm also going to head to the works, and then I'm also going to head to WH Smith. I don't normally go to WH Smith for books, but one of my friends, she always gets really good deals from WH Smith, and I always tend to just give it a miss. I don't know why. So today we're going to go have a look and see what they've got. So that's the plan of action, and also there's a couple of new bits that M&S have got in terms of food which I want to get, and some chai, vanilla chai tea, I can't forget that either. That's the plan of attack. Let's go. They've got so many good books that I'm tempted to buy in TK Maxx. I've heard that this author's supposed to be really good. I think she wrote The Hotel and then took it, which I've heard really good things about. But sadly there are no books that are grabbing me or calling me. Some beautiful editions and all really good prices, and it's a shame that there isn't any that I need. Otherwise I'd be a very happy girl, because these prices are great. The selection, amazing. If you've got a local TK Maxx, I would highly recommend. Came for autumn reads, but I've been very tempted by The Favourites by Fargo. It's in paperback, and I really want to read this, so I'm like, And then I've also seen Intermezzo by Sally Rooney, which is also in paperback, which I'm very tempted by. Very tempted by these, but these are the reason I came today. So I don't think the works has got anything else that I'm looking for, so I'm going to put these back and move on to the next one. Okay, I need to show you what I'm tempted by. I'm tempted by The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rufus. I've heard incredible things. I think it's supposed to be high fantasy, but I know that everyone's been waiting for book 3 for like forever. This book. Found what I was looking for with The Secret History. Found what I was looking for with Knife House. Okay, back in the car. That was a success. I ended up getting a few books. And I also picked up these to try from M&S, which I've been really wanting to try. We've got the kiwi berries. And then we've also got the boom bites. I thought we could just quickly try them together before I go home. Let's try the boom bites first. So apparently this is supposed to be a grape outside and a red berry on the inside. So they should just taste like a grape. That's what it looks like on the inside. But just like a very sweet grape. If I was going to give these a score out of 10, I would say they're an 8. They are really, really nice, but I expected them to be more berry flavoured and they're not. So in terms of like what they say in the package, it's probably like a 5, but in terms of taste and actual flavour, they do taste really nice, so it's an 8. And then next, let's try the kiwi berries. These are bigger than I was expecting. Apparently this is supposed to be a cross between a kiwi and a grape. Juicy, sweet, and a little sharp. Do I just eat the whole thing? Oh my god, that was different to what I was expecting. I don't know what I think to that.
I think you're supposed to eat the fur bit. You just put the fur bit.
I tried it at the end bit. I don't think you're supposed to eat the end bit. That's really weird. Let's make Nick try one. Nick's sat at the side of me. Let's make him try one of these. Here he is.
Squidgy. It's tangy.
Yeah, mine was tangy as well. I was expecting it to be a bit more sweeter, to be honest. Out of 10?
7.
Stronger than I thought.
I do like kiwi though.
I like kiwi too, but I think I'd maybe have to give it a 6. Eat another one.
I think the best thing to do is the whole thing.
Anyway, they are our thoughts on those purchases. I'm sorry if you can still hear Nick eating his kiwi bites in the background. So now we're going to head home and then we are going to continue with all of our autumnal things. And I can show you guys what I got even though it was a little bit disappointing. But that's the nature of the game. Time for part 2 of the day. Slight little change in the plan. I came back and my gorgeous mum had made a beautiful roast dinner. And it's Sunday, so I've enjoyed a roast dinner. I've chilled out. I've been reading, actually. The book I'm currently in the middle of is Stephanie Garber's Alchemy of Secrets. And I have just been chilled out on the sofa reading this, actually, and just having a really nice, wholesome Sunday evening. So I'm going to continue with my autumn vlog tomorrow, pick up where we left off, and we can go from there. But in the meantime, I'm just going to enjoy the rest of my Sunday, you know, guys. Sometimes it's about just being in the moment and enjoying what feels good. It's a rainy, cozy Sunday evening and I just want to read my book and I just want to see what happens with this because it's got me all levels of curious. I don't really know what is happening. I feel as though we're being led down the garden path a lot here and I don't know who to believe, who to trust. I feel as though that's the whole point of this book and I just want to know where it goes. So it's only short, it's like 300 pages, so I've got like 180 pages to go, I think. But I'm going to catch up with you guys tomorrow and we're going to continue our autumn vlog then. Yesterday we went autumn shopping and I was on the hunt for autumn things that could give my little book corner a little bit of an autumn glow up. We were on the hunt for some autumnal books that were on my autumn TBR and just like autumnal candles, all that kind of stuff. We had one part success, one part absolute flop. The success was the autumn books and finding books that were on my autumn TBR. The flop was the autumnal decor. I could not find for the life of me any candles that were hitting the vibe that I was looking for, that smelt nice but also looked nice too. Couldn't find any little autumnal bits that would go nice on my bookshelf. So I kind of like my bookshelves, aside from plants and the odd little knick-knack here, I like the books personally to speak for themselves. That's just how I like my bookshelf to look. I appreciate other people's and how different and beautiful everybody else are, but for me, that's just personally what I like. So I was looking at things and I was like, I don't know if I love that. I don't know if I love that. So I have some things from last year. I have a couple of things that I've picked up across the last few weeks that I'm going to show you guys, and we can do like a mini little autumn glow up, and then maybe as the month progresses and we get into October, maybe I'll find some more bits that I can show you guys as we go along. However, I did end up picking up some autumn books. I can't wait to show you guys. So I'm gonna grab myself a drink and then I'm gonna go through the new books that I have purchased, a couple of other ones that I've got that are on my autumn physical TBR, and then we can also chat about the ones that are not on my physical TBR, but just the ones that I've got my eye on that I want to read that I think would be good. So let's grab ourselves a drink, let's get cozy, and let's talk all things autumn. I've got myself a cup of autumnal tea. We have gone for pumpkin spice tea. Now apparently this is pumpkin with aromatic spices. It smells not like what I was expecting. It's a little bit too hot to try just yet, but I want to try it with you guys and see what we think, or see what I think, because I'm unsure with how that smells. But either way, I've got myself a cup of cozy tea, and I thought we could go through the books that I purchased when I went autumn book shopping and show you some of the books that are on my physical autumn TBR that I'm really, really excited about. First things first, let me get the bag of goodies. And like I said in my vlog, I never normally shop at WH Smith, but I've seen one of my friends, she always ends up getting really good deals from what used to be WH Smith. And so it's like, maybe I'm missing out. Maybe there's something in there that's gonna be good. And to be fair, I came out with 4 books, which was a lot more than what I was planning on getting. So that being said, let me show you the goods. Now, this first one isn't necessarily autumnal. It's not autumnal, so I thought we could get this one out of the way first. However, there is a method into the reason why I purchased this book. So the book in question is Quicksilver by Callie Hart. Now, let's just take a minute. Let's just take a minute because she's absolutely stunning. Now, I do have a copy of Quicksilver, and I have read Quicksilver, and I absolutely loved it. And it sits up there. I don't think you can quite see it yet. In fact, let me show you. Let me show you the copy of Quicksilver that I actually have. Okay, so this is the copy of Quicksilver that I have. This is the indie arc that I received before it got traditionally published, and it is honestly a prized possession of mine. Let me show you a little bit of a closer look. She's gorgeous. She's a little bit reflective, but she's gorgeous, and she's also signed. So, prized possession. This was how I initially read it, and obviously I haven't spent any money on this. I was very lucky to receive the arc for this. So that being said, Brimstone. Brimstone's coming out soon. It's coming out soon, and when I saw that this was the edition that was everywhere and it looks like this, oh, there is something about it that is just absolutely, truly gorgeous. I'm in love with the simplicity of it in a way. It's just very elegant, very together, really packs a punch, I think. And it was £11, 11 whole pounds. So that's obviously the naked hardcover, which looks like that, which is cute. And it's got end papers as well. There isn't anything about this that I do not like. So I was like, you're coming home with me. It's a must. It's a must. I have read it, but I don't have an actual proper copy of it. So this is my first copy, and then when Brimstone comes out, they can sit on my shelf and they can match, and it's gonna look really nice. So that was my first purchase, and I'm really happy with it. Zero regrets. Is the tea drinking temperature yet? It's actually quite nice. Not as nice as the vanilla chai I had a couple of weeks ago. That vanilla spice chai I need to get more of. I couldn't find it in the shops. So I'm on the hunt for some more of that, and in the meantime I've made do with this. Not quite hitting the spot the same, but it's nice. It's nice. The next 3 reads I got, they were autumnal. Which shall I start with first? Let's start with this one first. This wasn't on my list. It wasn't on my list, but I saw it and I was like, well, first of all, it's vampires, so it's ticking autumn spooky season vibes. And second of all, I really wanted to read this when it came out, so why haven't I yet? And it is The Songbird and the Heart of Stone by Carissa Broadbent. Now, I love all of Carissa Broadbent's books. She is a favourite author of mine, actually, and I haven't read anything of hers in a really long time. I truly do not know the reason why I haven't read this. So I know that this is set within the Crowns of Nyaxia worlds, and this is the first book in another duology set within the same world. So this follows Mish, I think. And basically, Mish lost everything when she was turned into a vampire. And now the story starts where she's facing potential because she unalived the vampire who turned her. Her life is then spared by the bastard prince. But the journey that she has to go on is almost worse than death. She has to go to the underworld to resurrect the god of death. That's the story with this. And I'm literally bamboozled as to why I haven't read this, but it has just come out in paperback. And if you know me, paperback girly through and through, there's something about the feel of a paperback that I will just always love. And I love reading a paperback. Hardback, they're a little bit complicated to read, I think. They're a bit clunky, they're a little bit not as enjoyable, whereas a paperback, they're just a classic. They're a classic and I love it. And so I feel as though this is gonna be potentially a really perfect time to read it in autumn. And I know that part 2 has just come out, so it's now a completed duology. And I'm thinking, Luce, you need to get on this. You need to get on this ASAP. Have you guys read it? Have you enjoyed it? What did you think? Is it as good as The Serpent and the Wings of the Night? Let me know. I need all of your thoughts. Next, in our bag of goodies, we have got Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, aka a dark academia classic. A classic, and yet I haven't read it. I love Six of Crows. I loved Crooked Kingdom. They are peak reads for me. I love them so much, and they are masterfully done. Leigh Bardugo really truly knows how to write a good, great masterpiece of a book. This is dark academia, so tell me why I haven't read an author that's as incredible as Leigh Bardugo, and it's also dark academia. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know why we haven't got to this yet. However, I'm feeling like now is as good a time as any, so of course we need this on our physical TBR. Oh! Okay, so I actually didn't really know what this was about, to be honest. This follows Alex, and she is the sole survivor of an unsolved horrific crime. She attends Yale, but her place at Yale comes with a bit of a catch. She has to monitor Yale's secret societies. They're deadly, they are secretive, and they are extremely powerful. That being said, these secret societies are far more darker than anybody ever imagined. They tamper with forbidden magic, they raise the dead, and sometimes they prey on the living. That is what this book is about. And oh my god, does that sound dark and delicious. Like, where have I been? Why has it taken me this long to pick up Ninth House? And why do I feel like I'm about to love it? It sounds so good. I'm excited. This is going straight on the autumn TBR. We finally have a physical copy, and I'm thinking October. The fourth and final book on the list is an absolute classic, and I searched high and low. I scoured left, right and centre, and finally we came home with the book that we set out to find. The Secret History by Donna Tartt. It's been a long time coming. Apparently this is supposed to be really haunting, really compelling, and I think it's about a group of students who are at this New England college, and they discover this new way of thinking and learning which is very much away from their regular experiences. But then it goes beyond the boundaries of like normal mortality, and that is when everything changes. And I think it's supposed to be spooky and dark and gorgeous and an absolute classic. I'm interested to see how I find more of a dark academia classic. The ones that I have been reading have definitely been more fantasy and romantasy-esque. So I'm very excited to see how I find and report back, and I'll probably end up vlogging this. Maybe I'll do like a week of reading the dark academia classics and see how we go. So those are the books that I got on my little book haul that I did. But then I do have two more. One of them, again, is another of the classics, and it's The Atlas Six by Olivia Blake. I read Masters of Death last year. Didn't love. Was not my cup of tea. And I'm hoping it wasn't because of Olivia's writing and her style, and that's the kind of way that she writes. I'm hoping it was just because of the plot and the characters and the storyline that just were not my cup of tea. I'm hoping that was the case. This one, the jury's definitely out on this as to whether I'm going to enjoy it or not, but I want to give it a try and I want to see. The other book I've got on my list for my physical autumn TBR is A Bargain So Bloody by Vasilisa Drake. This is vampires. It's vampires. And you know me, I love a good vampire book. I said this in a video that I did for TikTok recently, but why is it so hard to find a good, great vampire book? I love them. I absolutely eat them up every single time when they're done good. But I personally think it's really tricky and hard to find a good vampire book. I'm hoping this is going to be one of them. I really do. It says on the back, as long as you're here with me, you're mine, and I protect what's mine ruthlessly. We've got some character art in the back. Although interestingly, he looks like a blonde-haired MMC. Not sure how we feel about that. So apparently the basis of this story is that our FMC is trapped in a magical prison, and in order to escape, she has to make a bargain with the deadliest prisoner of all, who happens to be a vampire. But, although he promised to help her leave the prison, he never promised to let her go. That's the synopsis of this. This is what we're working with, and if it does what it says on the tin, we're in for an absolute treat. Please can this just be a really good vampire book? I've got everything crossed that it comes through with what it says it's gonna do. So that's a little insight into what my physical autumn TBR is looking like, and really happy with the lineup so far. I don't want to get too many books and get ahead of myself, but there are some other books that I do have my eye on for autumn that I think it's time I shared with you guys, because I am so excited for some of these. I'm not going to get to all of them because my list is pretty long, but let me share with you what's on there. Okay, so we have got 4 categories for my autumnal TBR. We have got dark academia, we have got gothic romance, so we've got dark fantasy romance, and we've got vampires. The 4 main categories that make up the pinnacle of autumnal reads for me personally, in my opinion. These are all the kind of reads that I want a million of and more. So let's start off with dark academia first of all. I did have Immortal Consequences on my autumnal TBR, and I have read that this month, so that's been ticked off, and we'll come to that in my reading wrap up for September, because I got some thoughts on that one. But the other 5 remaining books that are on my list for this category, some of them you've just seen. We have got Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, we have got The Secret Histories by Donna Tartt, and Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. But then we have also got If We Were Villains. I'm on the hunt for a physical copy of that, because that makes up, you know, the classics. And then we have also got Blood Over Brighthaven by M.L. Wang. I've heard amazing things. This is in my little creators pick for the year, and we have got 3 months left. Blood Over Brighthaven is still in there. It's still in the mix, and I've been waiting with bated breath for that to be chosen, and I'm really hoping that it gets picked in October. I feel as though that would be such a good time to read Blood Over Brighthaven. So, you know, got my fingers crossed and got my eye on that one. Next, and probably one of the categories I'm most excited about, is gothic romance. We're starting off this really strong. So the 6 books that make the lineup for this, we've got Fairytale. It's a standalone, it's supposed to be gothic. It's supposed to gaslight you as well, so colour me intrigued. We've got 2 Carrie Lake books. We have got Anathema. I don't know if it's Anathema or Anathema, but I tend to say Anathema. I'm hoping that's right. We've got Anathema, and we have got The Isle of Sin and Shadows. Anathema gets talked about a lot. People absolutely love that book. Carrie Lake has a lot of books, but The Isle of Sin and Shadows I do not hear talked about a lot. But it's one of the books that when I read the description of it, it really grabs me. This one's definitely supposed to be chilling, twisty, spooky, and super dark. So I really want to get to these. And also, the only Carrie Lake book I've read is Nocticadia, and so I'm like, give me more. I need to read more of her books. And then the final 3 is Hollow Heathens, which we are going to be reading for Laura's book club. This is a duology, and I've heard really good things. Apparently book 2 is even better than book 1, and book 1 is supposed to be like 5-star situation, so very excited for that. Then we've also got The Magnificence of Death and The Poisoner by Ivy Ophelia. Really excited for all of these, and I feel as though it's going to give me all of the gothic romance vibes I need to keep me well fed in the autumnal months. Now moving on to our next category, dark fantasy romance. This one's a little bit tricky for me because it is one of my favorite things in the world in terms of books, but because I do read a lot of it throughout the year, it is quite hard for me to find new picks that really get me excited. So the books that are on this list, we have got White Horse Black Knights. Been on my TBR for a while. Why have I not read this yet? Sounds amazing. The Blood That Binds Us, Blood Moon, The Cruel Dark, Reign of Shadows and Endings, which I'm hoping and praying I will get to this month and I can report all my feelings and thoughts to you guys, because I did say I was going to prioritize that and it was going to happen in September, so it's kind of like loose. you need to get a wriggle on, and then A Bargain So Bloody, which I just showed you in my little haul. So those are the 6 books that are going to be calling to me this spooky season. And then finally, we've got vampires. So the 6 books on my, you know, potential TBR list for autumn. We've got House of Crimson Heart, Stalked by Seduction and Shadows, A Dream of Blood and Magic, The Vampire's Bargain, House of Hunger, which the cover looks so good. Really, really, really want to read this. Probably one of the first ones I'll go for out of this list. And finally, A Spark in the Shadows. These, please let there be a great, good, gorgeous vampire book in there. I need it. I need it like I need air, and I'm excited. So, you know, when I'm thinking about autumn and I'm thinking about having potential autumn reads, obviously I'm gonna go from my physical TBR first because we need to get that down. But that being said, if I'm thinking of like mood reading or just something in particular is going to call to me out of those 4 categories, these are the books that are going to be top of the list for me. And now that we've talked about books and all of our autumnal reads, I've thought it would be really nice to finish this vlog by giving my reading corner a little bit of autumnal sparkle. So let's see what we can do with what we've got. I've got a pillow that I have from last year which says "Hey Pumpkin" on. This is gonna go on my chair. So I've got some tiny little gold fairy lights, but then I've also got some little autumnal leaves. These are from last year as well, so they're gonna go on my bookshelf. But then things that I have recently picked up, we have got some. So these are little acorn ones, which I think are gonna be really, really cute. And then I also did pick up, this by the way was from Flying Tiger. The autumnal leaves from last year were from Denelm, I think. And I think this was from B&M maybe from last year. And then I picked up one pillar candle. It's an LED one because I'd love to put some little LED candles on my bookshelf. I think that would look really nice, but I don't know how it's gonna look. So I picked up one. It was literally £2. And I thought, for £2, it's worth trying. I'm gonna try it and pop it on my shelf and see if it looks nice or not. And then if it does, I can get some more and we can add them in. So those are the things that I've got to give my little reading corner a little bit of an autumnal switch, see how things look. So let's put those things together and see what we're working with. I've put a cardigan on because it's a little bit chilly. Let's open these little lights first and see what they look like. Cute. Cute, cute, cute. How the hell do I get into these? What? Nah, this is crazy. Who did this? Who put these together? Is this supposed to be doable? Okay. We're making progress. Oh, we have liftoff. Look how cute these are when they're lit up. Little acorns. I'm obsessed. And we got these little gold ones, which look like this. That's those ready to go. Another gold set, ready to go. 3 out of 4. Yay. Our final little set of lights. Okay, let's decorate. I really like these and I'm thinking I'm gonna put them along here. Guys, it's not going well. Why is trying to get fairy lights to go on really just not as easy as you think it's gonna be? Look how pretty! Can you see that properly? Obviously it's a bit bright in here at the moment, but love. So my thoughts for these ones, I think I might dangle them. I maybe might move my plant along, or maybe put my plant on the end and dangle these down here. I think that's my plan. I'm gonna take my jumper off because it's literally like a million degrees in here. Okay, what does that look like? Does it look cute? It's giving autumnal, I think. We just got 2 more little sets of golden lights to put on, and I need to figure out where they're gonna go next. I think because we've got lights along here and along here, I think maybe I should put a little row across here just to balance it out. Last set to go. So part of me is like, because we've got this bit trailing down here, should I hang these down here? See what that looks like maybe? Okay, I think that's the lights all done. What do we think? Let me move out of the way. Then we've also got this little pillar candle, which is obviously LED. I think this might go on the little side table, I think. But let me put my chair back. Let's add in our little pumpkin cushion and see what we're looking like. Let me pull the curtains on, let me make it cozy, let me show you what we're working with. So that is my little autumnal revamp for my book corner. I'll be honest guys, I don't know how I feel about it currently. I thought the autumn lights were gonna look really cozy and cute, and in daylight currently, even with the curtains on, it's looking a little bit bright, a little bit garish, and I kind of feel like I'm at a fairground / theme park, which isn't the vibe that we're going for. But what I'm hoping is that when it drops dark and everything gets properly dark and really nice and cozy, it's gonna look different again. So maybe I'll drop in a little clip of what that looks like tonight. But that is everything for this little autumnal vlog, just a little one to ease us into the autumnal months, get us feeling all cozy and amazing. But thank you as always for watching. I hope you have a gorgeous week, and I'll see you guys at the next one.